Today I'm joined with Dr. Travis Zigler. By the way, any relation to the late Zig Ziglar?
He spells it Ziglar, so a little different, but I should just start saying yes to that because then I'll get more credibility, right?
Yeah, that's a huge boost. So then tell us who Dr. Travis Zigler is and what do you do?
So I am a real doctor. Why do they call me doctor? So I am actually an optometrist, first of all. I graduated optometry school in 2010, so 2010, and worked for my uncle for a little while and was an optometrist and just felt an itch to do more. Anybody that knows if you're an entrepreneur and you're working for somebody else, there's just something missing. And so my wife and I did the three things you're not supposed to do. We quit our jobs. We moved across the country from Ohio to South Carolina, and we actually started two practices of our own. Now I went from a very established 50, 60-year-old practice to a brand new practice. So I went from seeing 6 patients an hour to one, and I got bored. So I came across a course called Amazing Selling Machine, which I'm sure some of your viewers and listeners have probably heard of that. And it taught me how to sell on Amazon. So my wife and I started two practices as well as an online business selling on Amazon. And we actually started out as a sunglass company. And that sunglass company is called I Love, EYE, not the letter I. Thank you, Apple. It's EYE Love. And then after about 2 years of that, we grew the sunglass business to about 2.5 million. We actually shifted to focus more on a person and an audience. And we started focusing on dry eye sufferers, especially like specifically postmenopausal females that suffer from dry eye. And then that led to our whole line of hydrate products. And then we ended up buying a business called MediViz. And we actually sold that, all three of those businesses, I Love, Hydrate, and MediViz, which were all encapsulated into one. We sold that in 2021. And now we actually run the company inside the parent company. So I'm now working for somebody else again. But in the meantime, I also started an agency about 4 years ago because people were coming to me asking me for help on Amazon PPC. And I also went through about 4 agencies, didn't have any luck with them, and ended up just wanting to do my own thing with Amazon PPC and start my own agency, kind of the anti-agency agency. And we do Amazon PPC, Amazon DSP, and we do Google Ads to a blog post. We help you build an audience. And so we do a lot inside the agency now. And that's about 4 years old. And I started that with my two best friends in college. So we're having a good time doing that. And then I also run the other business with my wife, and we do everything from home, and it's all virtual now. So that is my whole story of the last 12 years in a nutshell. And we did have two kids in there, and might as well throw the family in. So we have two kids as well.
I love it. I love it. Usually I ask our guests, especially for the first time on, what is the mission and purpose of their company? But it's very obvious in that summary what your mission was, especially going to optometry school, doing that. You're trained to have that passion for the eye.
Yep.
But explain to us that transition to the brand, because there are two different things: being a doctor and then going into DTC branding and selling that. Even though you're still helping people, and I'm just very curious. It's very clear, I think, to everyone to see the actual value of a doctor and how they help a patient. But then when it translates into e-commerce, a physical product, then we get flustered into who's our audience, how do we do this, how do we market? Walk us through that journey and process for you guys.
So I can actually say being a doctor has two advantages. The first off is my mindset is of service, and that's the 100% of what we believe in. You take an oath when you get your doctorate degree that you'll always serve the patient no matter what, and you'll always do what's best for the other person. And that's just what a doctor does. And so if you don't see a doctor doing that, they're not following their actual oath that they took when they got their doctorate. So service has always been the focus of ours. And this happened way before I was an entrepreneur in the sense that I am now. Back in 2007, my wife and I went on a mission trip over to Ecuador, and we did a mission trip, and we helped about 1,000 to 2,000 people get glasses, sunglasses, and eye exams for the first time. And these are people that can't afford it, nor can they obtain it because there's just nobody close by. So we went to these rural parts of Ecuador, and that's when I fell in love with the service side of business. And I knew my life would be dedicated to this service. So we've been on over 13 missions since then, and we continue to do 2 to 3 of those a year. And so service continues to be the main focus point of what we do in our brand, I Love, but it's also our life. That's our life's mission, is to heal or help prevent so there's 1 billion with a B, 1 billion people, almost 10% of the world, actually a little over 10% of the world is blind due to lack of glasses. So no other reason than they can't get glasses. And so we're trying to put a dent in that. And what we're doing is MASH style clinics right now. We just go out, give 2,000 to 3,000 eye exams, glasses, and sunglasses. It's not sustainable. And so we're trying to create that sustainability down in the Caribbean as well, because that's where there's a lot of need. And then secondarily, with the agency, we serve our customers that way because, or our clients that way, because we give everything out. If you go to my YouTube channel, it's called PPC Pros by Profitable Pineapple. If you go to that channel, I give away every single secret of mine for free. You can go on there and you'll see every video that I've ever put out for free of exactly what we do. I give written SOPs out for free. And what that does is it attracts people back to me to then hire us, because we give away everything for free. They can do it on their own, but then they'll hire us because they know that we've been doing it forever. And so that's the service side of things. But the second part of being a doctor is you'll never see a doctor. Well, sometimes you do, but most of the time you never see a doctor scheduling appointments, answering the phone, checking out clients. And so it's really helped teach me how to delegate well, because as a doctor, you delegate to begin with. You're there to interpret the data and then act on the data. And so with the agency, I'm not in, like if you hired us, I'm not in your account day to day making the changes. That's what my team is for. But I've done a great job of hiring a great team, and I've delegated everything to that. I actually still answer the phone for our agency. So if you call our number, you'll actually get me. But delegation and service are the two big things that doctors do really well. And I think that can be applied across life, and you'll succeed a lot faster and a lot better if you just focus on that service and focus on that delegation.
I love that. Like that rings so true to the entrepreneur world, but maybe less than, I don't know, a handful are actual practitioners, doctors, something that took 10 years to get that mindset, the skills, and then, to learn. I love how you just simplified to two things: service and delegation. And I think that can apply to every single business, especially within e-commerce. Switching gears to the next question, what luxury and freedom, and outside of monetary, and I think I might know where you're going with this, but what luxury and freedom has the business provided over against the practice?
It's allowed us to do exactly what we wanted to do in the first place. We started the business for that service side, for that going on those mission trips and really focusing on people that can't afford nor obtain those glasses and sunglasses and eyeglasses. And it's allowed us to do that faster. So we thought in our 60s, we'd get around to it, and then we'd really get to retire from optometry and really get to focus on these mission trips. And we ended up being able to focus on them in 3 years. And now we can go on 2 to 3 a year. It's a little harder with 2 young kids. We have 2 kids under the age of 5. So that makes it harder, but we have great grandparents that really help us out and babysit them. But this world isn't about the money. The money is a value for exchange. And when you have the money, then you get to focus on your why. And so what we like to do with the agency is we like to focus on clients that have a bigger why, because we know if we can free up your time, make you more profitable, and then free up your capital, you can focus on your bigger why, which then produces life-changing gains in your business even more. It frees up your headspace and everything to just be able to accelerate your business faster, which then gets you to your purpose. And your purpose right now might be money, but it's not. Once you get the money, you'll be like, okay, now what? And you'll feel kind of empty. So we've always focused on that service first, because when we did get the money, when we sold our business last year, nothing changed. Nothing changed except for the figures on a computer screen, which doesn't change much. I mean, it just like you look at it and you're like, okay, cool. I have enough money to do what I want to do. And you probably have that now. Most of you guys do. And so focusing on the why are you in this world, that's going to lead to happiness, number one, but it's also going to lead to more money, number two, if you focus on that, making that impact.
Yeah, I like that. I'm in a similar position with one of our brands that focuses on children with special needs. And it's something that I didn't have a background for, didn't go to school for, but kind of arose out of being around the kids from school to our church. And there was a passion side of that. Obviously, that why can get complicated with the day-to-day details of the business, things that go wrong. Amazon deletes a product, Shopify, there's those day-to-day challenges, and that's the part of the delegation. But I'm curious on your guys' on I Love, what the next stage is of that why. I know you guys have exited and are still in the company. What's kind of the next 12 months path and the vision for the next 12 months?
Yeah, so we sold 12 months ago, and the main reason we weren't for sale when we sold, is we sold to a strategic buyer, and that strategic buyer is in a lot of doctors' offices already. And so we have the Amazon side dialed in, we have the Shopify side dialed in, and we're just growing that with the capital that they supply. And then they have the doctor side dialed in. So now what we're doing is we're launching across all their doctors' offices they have. So we're adding a wholesale division, and they have I think they have 30 reps, and all these reps are going to get our product as well. And so they already have a product that works really well for the space that we're in. And now we're adding to that product because we don't have that product and they don't have our products. So we're combining using their sales force to then get us into wholesale. So wholesale is going to be a big focus in the next 12 months. And we're coming out with more products. So to get from 0 to 1 million, you're just trying to figure out how to sell. That's your main goal, is just how to sell, serve an audience, sell to them, figure it out, keep trying, keep split testing until you figure out. Once you get to that 1 million though, you know how to sell. Getting from 1 to 10 is just coming out with more products. And so that's what stage we're in right now, is just releasing more products and spreading it out more with our main hero products. And then once you get from that 10 to 50, that's when it all comes down to people. And I don't have experience with the 10 to 50 part, but I am in that business now because our parent company is bigger than that. And I get to see how they grew. And that was through hiring more account reps, hiring an executive team, hiring a CEO that's done it before, hiring a CFO that's done it before, bringing in private equity. So now we have private equity in there as well. So I've got to learn all this stuff in the last 12 months. And then the next 12 months moving forward, I get to continue to learn. But right now in our stage, we're just trying to release more products that are going to be hero products, hopefully making that 100 to 200 sales a day, even 50 sales a day, and then accelerating those.
That's amazing. And I wish you all the best on that journey, because,
Thanks.
like you're saying, we grind to get to that 7-figure mark, and we're like, we're like, okay, we made it when we get there. And then it's, like you said, the numbers don't even matter at that point. You get there and it's like, okay, it's the same thing again. Now I want to grow. We're in a different field. Add more products, hire more people, advertising, branding, and then it just keeps growing. But at a certain point, and I love how you're mentioning the strategic partner, at a certain point, it just makes sense for you and for any individual for their business to exit. And that's the beauty of something like e-commerce, where you could. And then it becomes strategic if they have doctors' offices or they're connected with people that can forward this mission. Now it's like, okay, I want to focus on these roles while the company grows. And I remove myself from CEO and let someone that has done it take it to that level. Which kind of brings me back. So with the brand now, what's your main focus? Is it on the digital marketing, Amazon side, a PPC side? Do you still have the strategic vision and kind of where you want it to go? How is that kind of working out for you guys?
It's different now, that's for sure, because I have someone to report to. My focus is more on the Amazon direct to consumer side for the entire parent company. So it's not just my business anymore. And I focus on I Love. I'm the president of I Love. So I still run I Love day to day, but from a president role, which, if people don't know it, CEO is above the president. So there's like a CEO and then there's multiple presidents. You can also think of them as brand managers, if that sounds like an easier term to understand. But we'll be phasing me out of that role over the next 12 months. And so I'll be phasing out, they'll bring in a brand manager to take over that role. And I will continue to focus on the Amazon and direct to consumer side of not just I Love, but all the other brands that they have under their umbrella, which is about 8. And in doing that role, it also prepares me better for being the CEO of my agency, because in the agency, we're running, anywhere from 50 to 100 brands at a time as well, if not more. And so I get to see strategy over here, bring it over here. So strategy over in I Love, bring it over to the agency, and vice versa. I can see stuff that's going on in the agency that's working. I can bring it over to I Love. And so having my hand in both jars has really actually been it's helped. It's been adjunctive instead of like subtractive, and it's a lot of work, and I'm working a lot more than I usually do, but I get to see both sides. So I get to still see brands that are just starting to launch now and see what's working for them, and then apply it to one of my products over here, and vice versa. This is working over here and put it over there.
Amazing. I love it. Maybe a little more on the profitable pineapple side. What's kind of the next 12 months looking for you guys there? And maybe one nugget that someone who's struggling with DTC, there are changes. Like what's your guys' outlook for the next 12 months? And then one nugget that someone can apply that's low hanging.
Yeah, so the nugget for the next 12 months, actually, no, let me just go over the next 12 months for profitable pineapple. We're in expansion mode. So I talked about when you're going from 0 to 1 million, you're learning how to sell. When you're going from 1 to 10, you're just adding more products. So that's the same thing in the agency world. From 0 to 1 million, we were learning how to sell. We were learning how to get clients in the door. And now we're past that. And now we're on that 1 to 10 million trajectory. And now it's just adding more products. So we're adding more services and we're adding more people. And so it's just a little different. Instead of products, you're adding people to your team to then be able to get more clients. And so it's a similar process as a physical products brand, but you're just scaling people versus products. So it's just a little different. And then we're just trying to get more clients in the door, and then we're selling them more services. So we just started blogging for customers, and we drive Google ads to those blogs. Then we capture an email address. We're starting to add email marketing to our customers. And so trying to get email addresses for them and then getting them to buy over on Amazon. This is something we've done in our brand since 2017, but we're now starting to roll that out to clients as well, and adding more products like maybe inventory management services, which inventory is a big pain point for a lot of e-commerce entrepreneurs. We have a software developer on our team that has developed an inventory software, and he's doing it for one client right now. And it's just a matter of rolling that out to more people. So we're adding products to our portfolio, and we actually need a lot of help. So our client load is almost full, and we're adding anywhere from 2 to 7 team members over the next year. We're adding 2 right now, and probably up to 7 over the next year. So if you're interested, you can just send me an email, which will probably give my contact information out here in the video, but it's drtravis@profitablepineapple.com. So you guys can send me an email. And then one nugget for Amazon PPC, the problem with Amazon PPC is that we follow so many strategies, and you hear something on YouTube and you'll go do it. You hear something on a podcast, then you'll go do it. And there's no synchronicity to that strategy. So the number one nugget I give everybody is simplify your Amazon PPC. Everybody's heard of Pareto's principle. It's the 80-20 rule. It's 20% of your inputs create 80% of your results. Pareto I think he was Italian, and he planted a garden. And you notice that 20% of the seeds he planted produced 80% of the crop. 20% of the people own 80% of the land. And this 80-20 rule applies to everything. 20% of your business, or 20% of your products in your business, are producing 80% of your results or your revenue. 20% of your customer or your search terms in your Amazon PPC are producing 80% of your results. And so what you need to do is narrow it down to that 20% of the search terms that are producing 80% of your results. Your profit will shoot up. Your stress will go down because you're not going for as many keywords. And it makes your business start to scale faster with less money because you're focusing on what's working instead of everything else that's out there. And when I'm looking at a ratio of my sponsored products, which is your main search term marketing on Amazon, versus sponsored brand versus sponsored display, 80% of my ads, if not 90%, are sponsored products search marketing or ASIN marketing. So focus on sponsored products and really mastering that. This is just your basic keyword targeting, your broad phrase and exact. And so focusing on that area is the 80-20 of Amazon PPC. Ignore everything else. Yes, there is a place for sponsored brand videos. Yes, there is a place for sponsored brand headline search ads. There's a place for sponsored display product targeting ads. There's a place for category targeting, but that's not going to be the majority of your ads. Sponsored product, keyword targeting, and ASIN targeting is where you need to focus, and just focus on that. I actually have a free Amazon PPC course that teaches this is what you need to focus on. and it shows you how to get the 80/20, which is just by your search term report. Download a search term report, look at it, and I guarantee 20% of those search terms are creating 80% of your results.
Yeah, that's so well said, especially in the area of where we operated. You listen to this podcast, like we said, this YouTube, this strategy, or something else new that came up. Sometimes those might be distractions. Those are the 20% that we're chasing to think we're going to hit this home run. But I love that we're seeing that in our business. I even have a tendency of pushing my team and saying, where are we at with DSP? Where are we at with video? Which are good things to test. But it's just simplifying things, and I can't reiterate that enough.
Can I tell you what I am testing currently?
Mm-hmm.
I have dropped Amazon DSP. I am testing DSP versus no DSP. I've been on DSP for 2 years now, and we had scaled it all the way up to about 30,000 a month at one point. And I started dropping it down, and I went to 25, then 20, then 15, then 10. And I've been at 10 for about 3 months now. And I was like, what if I just drop it? And so we actually just dropped it about 5 days ago. And so we're going to see what happens to my overall revenue. So sorry for watching this video. You're not going to know the results, but maybe the results will come in the future.
Sure, and maybe because this is an intro, there's so many ways we can take it. But since you guys are a PPC agency, maybe we can do something follow up down the line. If you want to share your screen on a result on this, or obviously we don't want to show details and keywords and things like that. But if you want to,
go to my channel, you see it all. I show keywords, I show my products, I show everything.
Amazing. So guys, if you're listening to this, check out Dr. Zigler's YouTube channel. Maybe we might have him back to do a deep dive on PPC. But before we wrap up, obviously, people can connect with you on YouTube, but if they have questions and want to communicate, where's the best place for them to reach you out?
Yeah, so Facebook is the easiest one. I have a Facebook group called Amazon PPC Pros. Get in there, tag me. You can look up the admins for that group, and I'm in there. Don't be afraid to shoot me a message. But the best thing, if you have a PPC question, put it in that group, because if you have that question, I guarantee everybody else does too. So Amazon PPC Pros on Facebook. That's the easiest one to find me on Facebook as well. I'm on LinkedIn as well, Dr. Travis Zigler. And then my YouTube channel is PPC Pros by Profitable Pineapple.
Absolutely. Well, guys, I'm going to link all of those in the description below. Dr. Travis, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. There's just so much that we can dive deep into, and hopefully in the future we can do some more of this.
Yep, sounds good. Thanks for having me on.